Am I any closer to making art my full-time career? So I'm currently on a journey to go from being a part-time to full-time professional artist. By professional, I mean someone who makes money for selling their art, not just a hobbyist or amateur. So I just want to talk more about the sort of realities behind the art rather than tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff on actually creating artwork itself. I feel like half the journey now, if not most of the journey of becoming a pro artist, is going to be all the stuff you do that isn't art, basically. So like sales and marketing and, you know, chasing up other opportunities, trying to construct something like a website or, you know, a social media presence. So yeah, I just want to be honest in this post and just say what's working, what isn't, what I'm actually doing. I don't care about coming across super successful or professional. That's not really the goal here. So anyway, let's get started. So I have a website, bencrefter.com. What have I done with it this year? So I post typically on my website about 3 times a year in the form of a blog entry, a blog article, something like that. Normally it's just like this, like an update of what I'm doing, where I'm going. And yeah, I've done that a few times. Each post probably takes me about a day to write, create the pictures, you know, to edit it, make it tight. It's, you know, a good couple of thousand words of posting content. Does it help with the goal? Not really. I kind of feel like it's probably more just a self-indulgent, selfish act of wanting me to bookmark the progress. And it's really hard to gauge whether anyone's going to, you know, view these posts and then, for example, buy a print off the back of it. And it's hard for me to kind of measure the progress of being an artist or the life of being an artist, because the goal isn't just about making money. It's not just about converting sales. You know, if my life was about converting sales, I'd go into sales and marketing. I wouldn't bother being an artist. But I'm trying to get this life balance, like I think every artist is, between creating the types of art that you want to create, doing the things you want to do, bringing things into the world that you actually enjoy, but then also creating products that people are gonna wanna invest in and purchase, and you know, the value themselves. And it's I think you have to spend years figuring that out. I don't think anyone just comes along and says, you know what, I want to be an artist, and then they just hit it off the bat. You have to take time to really work out, you know, what it is that you like, what it is other people like, what it is you're good at, and, you know, combine those 3 things together. So, I mean, on my website, I've had 4,000 active users over the last 7 months, and pretty happy with that. I mean, some of those users are going to be like bots, thieves, art thieves and scammers. I get a lot of email spam from people trying to sell me stuff that visit my website, and I'm just not interested. So it's not all legit customers. A lot of it is just people trying to sell to me, and I just happen to have a website, and then they find me and see me as a target rather than them being themselves being customers. I updated the shop with 16 new listings because I'm selling a few stickers now. So that's another thing that I did. I often think about maybe redoing my whole website in order to turn it into more of an e-commerce store, because I'm focusing, or trying to focus now, more on selling, for example, t-shirts and art prints and originals, books, whatever, and less on the commission side of things. I think, you know, if you are becoming or trying to become a professional artist, you need to think, well, do I need to create a website that's a portfolio that enables me to get a job with a company that hires artists? Or is it a portfolio that's trying to get me commissions and work? And, you know, am I trying to be like an art mentor or something, and I need to show my credentials and testimonials from other students? Or am I trying to sell products, in which case do I need to talk about my special offers and the new products that I'm putting out there? And I feel like my website now probably could do with like a refresh or an update, but I've been saying that for years. I don't feel like this year I'm going to be doing that. I still feel like there's just not enough activity on my website to warrant it. I kind of feel like I want to get more traffic to the website, and if I can get more traffic, and I'm like, okay, you know, this is a thing, I can now, you know, I'll now have the time and resources, and I'll be willing to put the money in, because it's probably going to cost a bit of money to create a new website, even though I can design websites myself, I'm probably going to just want to hire someone to help out with it, just to save the months that would otherwise just take me to do it by myself. So the website's there, a few things have been added to it. It's not really a huge part of, you know, my success this year. It's kind of just there in the background so that I've got somewhere to direct, you know, customers. If, you know, if a customer on eBay or Etsy or Amazon buys an art print, I can then, you know, put a flyer in with the art print and say, visit my website, and that information is there for them. So that's kind of what it's there for at the moment. So this year I'm making my own game. At the start of the year I thought, right, this is the year, I've definitely got to get this game out. So it's a 2-player head-to-head card game called Total Blast. It's a really good game, but I'm really struggling to like gain any traction and get any eyeballs on it, gain any interest in it. So I've done a few things this year. I gave it some more play tests, refined the rule books, received some quotes from shipping companies in China to both make and then ship the game over to me. Finished off the remaining 8 art cards I had, which were like character cards that needed some polishing and colouring. Tempted to promote on social media, didn't really work, I'll explain that later. I gave it its own YouTube channel and half a dozen videos. I added it to the Board Game Geek database. So it looks good, it's all there. Made some more progress with it, still just stuck. Just completely stuck with figuring how to market it. I just do not know what to do. Because even if I create a new YouTube video, stick it on YouTube and say, you know, here's a thing I'm creating. If you'd like to support what I'm doing, go to this mailing list and sign up, and, you know, it'll, you know, happy days. I can't even do that because, well, I mean, I could do it, but I'm only going to get 3 or 4 people view the video, maybe a dozen people view the video. And out of those, I'll have a zero, well, so far I've had 0% conversion rates for the videos I put out. So really, it seems to me like anything I do will need to make the game or people's awareness of the game almost go viral. I need to create something that's going to really make an impact. And unless I can do that, there's nothing I can do to really promote the game at this point. So social media, I've got complete and utter burnout from social media. Again, with this game, I posted every day for about 30 days saying, I've got this game, are you interested? You know, I've got a combined social media following of 65,000 people. So I thought, right, there's a lot of people to potentially see this, see these posts. But generally, each post would get a couple of likes or whatever. And they were always the same people. You know, I appreciate the likes, brilliant, but they're from a lot of the time friends of that I kind of know personally who, you know, they're not necessarily even gamers. They wouldn't necessarily buy the game. They're just sort of liking because they like everything that their friends put out. And, you know, that's fine. Give a like in support. I appreciate that. But what I would like is for people think, oh, I like the look of that. That looks like a cool game. I would invest in that. And those are the people that I'm trying to attract, and I just cannot get them with social media. So I just kind of feel like, despite the following that I've got, or at least had, you know, they're not really active users, you know, the thousands of users, it ain't paying off. So is it worth any more social media posting? Maybe I'd be better off just creating new social media profiles for the game. I mean, I think it would be a good idea maybe later this year to really start promoting it on its own platforms. I mean, I did it with YouTube and it's something, but maybe I need to Total Blast to have its own separate Instagram, because obviously people might be following me for the art, but they might not necessarily care about the mechanics of games and writing a rule book for card games and things like that. So I tried with social media to some small degree, didn't really work. And you have to think, like, if you're someone who puts out, say, a post a week on social media, you're putting out 56, is it, weeks of the year? 56 posts per year. Why are you doing that? What do you want to get from that? How do you measure the success from that? I mean, it can be quite fun just to post images of what you're doing and put it out into the world. But if you're trying to get sales or commissions out of that, how do you measure that? You know, how do you, like, you need to know that you're definitely getting people from that platform later contact you and commission you or buy your products for you. Because if that's just not happening, you have to ask yourself, is it even worth posting on social media? You know, maybe your time would be spent doing something else. I don't know. So another thing this year, I thought, right, let's post a bit more on YouTube. Let's try and grow a social media following. And I'm very much aware that this particular video isn't probably going to gain me any subscribers. It's just me ranting about my own artistic journey or failures there within. And I've still gone ahead and created, I think, 39, maybe 40. This is the 40th video this year. And I haven't really gained much from it at this juncture. Like, I've had a few positive interactions. I've had, I don't know, 50 or so people subscribe to my channel. And it's something, but you know, when you look at these big channels with like 100,000 subscribers and stuff, and you think, oh, that'd be nice. And I don't even want 100,000 subscribers. Maybe like 10,000 would be enough. And it's not even about the subscribers. It's just, I would like to know that I can put content out there which would gain eyeballs, you know, that people would genuinely find interest in. And then it's a hard one knowing, is it just that my content is crap, or is it just that the people that would enjoy my content aren't being served my content? Because obviously I try and create the sort of stuff that I would be interested in, but if YouTube isn't pushing it out to people who are like me, then people are going to see it and think, well, this is I don't like this, I don't want this, and then YouTube assumes, oh, it's not good content. So there's a couple of things here with YouTube. Firstly, I know I need to create better videos. This is not a good, concise, well scripted video. This is just me talking off the cuff about stuff I've done. And my only hope with this video is that some people will either find it interesting about what's actually going on behind the scenes of someone who wants to sort of become a full-time artist, or, well, that's that really. So I don't know. I don't expect this video to do well per se, but I feel like this is just one I needed to get out there just to kind of show what it is I'm doing. I mean, I've got a goal to maybe reach 1,000 subscribers, because at that point, providing I have enough watch time with the videos, I can start getting money from the YouTube ads that YouTube puts on my videos, and not just YouTube getting that money. And it won't be much money. It won't be any, you know, I won't be able to make a career out of it. But I just don't want YouTube to have all the money, because it's just not fair, is it? I just want my fair share of whatever that was. But so I don't know. I don't know if I can blow up my channel. I don't know what I should do or what I could put out onto my channel to make it more popular. But I think for now, I'm just doing this. I'm just going to riff. I'm just going to talk about what's actually happening, what I'm actually trying, and then if someone learns something from that, good. If not, I apologise. So I'm still taking orders from my website. So not just my website, but like Amazon, eBay, Etsy. To be honest, orders are down, worryingly down. So compared to 2022 to 2023, my web orders are down about 75%. Yeah, I'm taking some orders. There's something coming in, and I'm still fulfilling those this year, and will continue to do it. And to be honest, I quite enjoy fulfilling orders. I quite like it when an order comes in and you can just take a break from the screen for a bit, grab the print, stick it in a postage tube with a flyer, package it up, print off a label. It's just a nice welcome break, doing something which is basic and simple and easy to do. And obviously it feels good to get an order each time that they come in. So comic conventions. I've sold at one comic convention this year. I'm intending on doing another couple. You know, they make me a little bit of money. They're worth doing. I kind of feel like after doing sort of 40 shows though, that I kind of want to cut back, and I am cutting back at the moment. I kind of feel like the only ones worth doing are the bigger MCM shows here in the UK. Other smaller shows just aren't worth it really, because it takes a lot of energy and effort to go to shows, and if you hardly make any money or you're basically breaking even, you just think, well, what's the point? So yeah, I mean, like I say, I created some stickers for the shows specifically, tested those out, they worked okay. So, you know, I hope to bring those along to further shows to, you know, show them off, get a few sales, it's all good. So this year I applied for a couple of jobs, maybe about a dozen art-related jobs, or even not art-related jobs, because I'm working part-time, I still need to subsidise my income, and just didn't get anywhere. I mean, there was one art job where the only reply I got was from this company it was an illustration agency actually, who asked me to submit my work to them. So they specifically said, Ben, we'd like you to submit your artwork to our agency. And I said, oh, okay, I'll do that. And then they said, yeah, we don't want to work with you. And I was like, why waste my time by, like, you know, putting out a call to me specifically, you know, personally messaging me to submit artwork if there's no work for me? I just become a bit despondent about jobs and applying for jobs, because, you know, you apply for one and then another dozen, and you just get to the point where if no one is responding, you just think, well, why am I bothering with this? I think really, like they say, I think 80% of all jobs that people get aren't through like job boards. Only like 20% are through like a job board or a vacancy. 80% of these jobs are actually through word of mouth. So, or like recommendation. So if you've got someone who works in a company and they say, oh, we've got a vacancy coming up, and then they say to you, would you be interested in it? You know, having that sort of semi-foot in the door via your friend or, you know, someone you know, that's how most jobs come about. And I think realistically with a lot of jobs, if you want to get one, like an employed job, then you're going to have to know someone. You're going to have to either know someone or get to know someone before the application comes in, because otherwise, like with one of these LinkedIn jobs, I think it had about well over 1,000, or maybe was it like 5,000 applicants, and you just think, well, as good as my work is, it's going to be really difficult to, you know, compete there. So creating artwork this year, I haven't really, other than the Total Blast character artworks, I haven't created a single new piece of artwork this year. It's been completely on the sort of marketing side of things, or lack of success with the marketing, you know. So it's all good and well creating like 40 YouTube videos or 30 Instagram posts, but if they're not converting into anything tangible, it's hard to feel like it's really working. And so it does get quite frustrating when you have kind of diverted your time and resources to those things when you know you could have otherwise been drawing and painting, and you haven't been doing that because you haven't had the time. So I haven't done a lot about artwork. And I'm thinking, with art, if you don't have an audience and you create it, no one's ever going to see it. So it's easy to then think, okay, therefore, what is the point? As a hobby, you know, there's satisfaction to be gained from making something just for you. You know, I quite like making little LED lighting projects where I put LED lights up and I, you know, solder those together and solder them to a power source or a plug, and, you know, I've got this little lighting setup done. No one's ever seen it, but I see it and I enjoy it, and it's for me. But I'm not. That's not a career. That's just a hobby. That's just something I'm doing just for me. So if you're trying to turn the art thing into a career or a job, you need the audience. You know, there's no two ways about it. So really, you need the audience first, then you need the art, then you need the artistic skills or the artistic produce second. It was like you know, that YouTuber PewDiePie. He would I think he drew every day for a year or something like that. You know, and he got pretty good at his drawing. But that's probably the best way to do it. Become a famous YouTube influencer, then become an artist, and then it all works out. Like, was it Robbie Williams, the singer, UK singer Robbie Williams, ex-Take That singer? He was, I think I read an article recently about him being so angry that his artwork was only selling for £40,000 per go. And it's like, if I sold one artwork for £40,000 that year, I'd be ecstatic. I'd think, great, I've sold my artwork for the year. I can now just play video games until 2026, and yeah, I don't have to do anything because that's all I would need to live. So yeah, be famous, then become a professional artist. It's like Anthony Hopkins. He's the actor Anthony Hopkins. Like, he's an artist as well as an actor, and if he wants to sell his art, you know, he can just say, yeah, I want £1 million for that, and someone's going to pay it. It doesn't even have to be good. I don't even know what Anthony Hopkins' art looks like, but I know that he creates artwork, and if he wants to sell it, you know, if he's ever hard up for cash, and he's like, you know what, I think I'll sell several of my canvases. He knows he's got like $7 million or whatever. Where do I go from here? Now, stuff has been done, but it feels like I'm moving through mud or something. The whole process of trying to create a career from the art thing is, it's tiring. I probably sound tired when I'm explaining it, because I am. I just feel like I want to wake up in the morning. Okay, this is the ideal scenario. I wake up in the morning, fulfill 10 orders, which basically, you know, just like, even if it's just packing up 10 art prints and knowing, right, okay, packed up my 10 art prints, I don't have to worry about money for the day. This is going to pay my rent, food, bills for the day, and then spend the rest of the day just creating new artwork. Or, you know, even if I wanted to, I could, you know, create blog posts or vlog posts like this and not ever think, I hope this does well because I need the audience, because I need the audience, because I need the money or something like that. So I'm not there yet, and I'm still operating on this part-time basis. So stuff has been done. I haven't been completely stagnant, but at the same time, the trouble is when you do a thing and you try hard and you do it long enough and you still don't succeed, it's easy to then just get into a habit of procrastinating or not bothering. And it's like a natural process, because you do a thing, it doesn't work, and then you repeat the thing and it doesn't work, and eventually you learn just through pattern recognition that the thing you're doing isn't going to get you the results that you want, you know. So you start to think, well, what's the point? And so I think this is why probably a lot of creative types, you know, they start an Instagram account, don't get the traction, so then they're like, all right, maybe I'll start posting on Facebook, and then they don't get any traction. Then they're like, oh, maybe I'll start posting on YouTube, and then they don't get any traction. Then they're like, okay, maybe I'll, you know, and you go for all these different things because, you know, and it's fair enough, because if you're posting a reasonable amount, you know, like every day for a year on a platform and no one gives a shit, like, it would be weird to just continue with that regardless when you have the goal in mind of sort of success and stuff like that. So yeah, there is a part of me that just, I don't know, I want to double down, just keep posting, keep pushing, keep trying to do what I'm doing, but another part of me just wants to just give up and not continue with this whole venture. I'm not giving up, but you know, that you have to resist that. You know, you have to resist the bitterness and the frustration and the desire to quit, because it's there, and it's. I'm sure I'm not the only artist that's experiencing it, but I suppose at the end of the day, I have done things, I'm going to continue to do things, and hopefully in the end it is all going to work out, but we shall see. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.